Welcome to the fourth installment of our genealogy lessons on FamilySearch. This installment is going to focus on the published collections. And as we go through our genealogy lessons, we are focusing on a case study that looks at the birth date of my grandmother in the picture above. So to get to the published collections, click on the Search tab. And then on that page, look on the right side underneath Research by Location and the Find a Collection. There's a hyperlink that says Browse All Published Collections. Go ahead and click on that. And then in that page, you can narrow the list by a location. So I've chosen, because of the question of the birth date of my grandmother, whether she was born in Chicago, Illinois, I've chosen Chicago, Illinois as the location. And I'm doing this to show you that this is another way to find collections that may not be appearing in other places. So the alternative for the question that we're looking at is searching for Illinois, Cook County. When I did that, I found collections that I've already been able to look through. But when I switched it to the city instead of the county, I found a collection that had not appeared in any of the other searches because it's not yet been, well, it has been fully indexed, but as we'll see, my grandmother's name got indexed a little bit differently. So you can see from here those different collections. So when you then click on one of the collection's names, you'll get to a page that does include search fields if the collection has been indexed. I did that. I did not find the results that I was looking for. So the next step is to look towards the bottom of that page that had the search fields on it for the Browse All Images. And then I clicked on that. Within a collection, it is going to be organized maybe by location, maybe by dates, maybe by events, or however the books or records can be collected within that collection. So within the church records for the city of Chicago, it's first organized by church. Now, because information has been passed down from from my grandmother to my mother, I was able to look at specific churches. So here I clicked on St. Barbara's, but the one on Thorpe Street instead of the alternative St. Barbara's. So it's knowing which location that you're looking for. And then it further organized the information with marriage records and baptism records by years, and so I looked at the baptism records that overlapped the 1913, 1914 area. And the nice thing about this collection is it imaged books that have built-in indexes. So that's the place to start, is look at the beginning of a book that's been microfilmed or the end of the book to see if there was a built-in index. In this situation, I did find my grandmother in the S's, and so I was able to jump from that index, you can see the image of it here on the screen, to the page that the record existed on. Oh, no. Let's see. All right. So this is the baptism, or part of the baptism record for my grandmother. I only did a part of the first page because otherwise it would be too small. But even on this part of the page, it includes her name, her parents' names, and her husband's name. Because she married in the same church that she was baptized in, the husband's name is included. So even if there were tons of Wikis smoshes out there, this would help me narrow it down to my grandmother and my grandfather. The reason the record had not appeared in the searchable index is because they indexed it as SMARSZ instead of SMASZ. I think in the index it was maybe a little extra loopy, so there was an extra R in there that did not exist in the actual name. So don't rely on searches as to whether your record is going to be in there. Look at the images whenever you can. And on the right-hand side, it also included witnesses' names, and that has been helpful in answering other research questions related to siblings and cousins and so forth. So this was looking at her birth date, and it does confirm that information, but through a record that existed a couple dates after the reported birth date, but it does support what we know to be the birth date. So in putting this lesson into practice and applying it to your own research, go through those steps. Go to the search page, click on the Browse All Published Collections, search for an event location that's relevant to your research question to narrow down the list, and then compare the results to those collections you've already looked through. And if there isn't one that you've found before, definitely spend some time on that. If some of the results are collections that you've looked at, but maybe you didn't find the results in, go ahead and click on the collection and look through the images. Maybe your ancestors' record is going to be there. And record all results in your research log so that you know what you've done moving forward. If you have any questions about this or other genealogy research areas, go ahead and send the comments or questions to me at julie@haysky.org or post them in the comments section. Thanks so much, and we'll see you soon, and keep researching.